This NCP server handles Google Calendar operation. It's a really good NCP server to use in use cases such as AI agent to restaurant, or if you have to handle reservation to hotels or schedule meetings for a client. This NCP server breaking down the different operations that you can do integrating in your AI application, such as create a new event, delete, update, verify if the gap of time is busy, or verify how many events there are in gap of time. This NCP server has been created because one of my students was working on an AI agent to a restaurant, and he had a lot of issue with the Google Calendar notes and Google Calendar API, because it's a little bit tricky handle the overlapping between the events. But with this NCP, this problem disappeared. But let's take a look how this works on a real integration. Here we integrate the NCP server, NCP Google Calendar server, on a simple AI agent with a chat. Let's take a look how this works. Let's add something like if there any meeting at 8 p.m. today. Let's take a look how is the query. Basically, the AI agent send the started and the end date, the event ID, I don't know if it is necessary, the time zone as well, and the NCP server provide what is the tool needed and the description of the tool. And here we can see the response. Let's validate if this is true. Okay, there is not any event there is not any event at 8 p.m. today. Okay, but let's create a new one. Can you create an event, please? Let's see what's happening with this response. Okay, sure, provide details. I have to provide a couple details to that. And let's say title is YouTube record test 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Let's take a look. How is the okay? Sounds good. Let's see what was the first of all. The AI agent validate the time, is it busy or not. The response is available. After that, the AI agent called the create new event action, and here is or even there is a link. I like it. Let's take a look. The response, nice. It looks very nice. Let's see under the hood, step by step, how you can create this entire NCP server. If you want to boost your AI agent path career, I have a mentorship program one-to-one where I'm going to teach you how you can become an AI agent developer, and the course will be so customized because the final AI agent project we are going to choose together. You will have a one-to-one call with me weekly, and you have a personalized program in my mentorship. But start to talk and jump to the business. Let's start to create this NCP server. The first node that we are going to use is NCP Server Trigger. This node provides us a URL. This URL we are going to provide to the NCP client. This keep as a default, and here we are going to add a new. Let's see how we define this as visit time, and basically this will call another workflow, but it will be internal workflow. It will not outside of this workflow. Could be, it's up to you basically. We are going to pick here another trigger, and we have to define what will be the schema. Let's copy and paste this because we are going to use the same. Something so cool about n8n is you can copy and paste something like this, copy, and you will have this entire node in your workflow. But for some reason it's not working here. Okay, let's see how we can do that. Well, we have here time zone, event ID, date, start date, and operation. Nice. We can copy and paste this and just here click on. You have here two different ways to do that. Is define one by one, let's say operation, and you define the type of this file, or you can write down an example JSON. That's basically that I am doing. Nice. We have to connect this, and let's see. I'm gonna refresh the page because this. Okay, no, hold on a second. Let's create NCP Google Calendar and YouTube test. Okay, and now we have to connect this with our NCP. Nice. We don't have to refresh anything because we already have this. That is the possible fields that we have to send to start the workflow. And here, let's see what we have. This is hard coding because all will be the same in the operation. Start date is defined by the model, end date is defined under the model as well, event date defined by the model, and time zone as well. What is defined by the model? That's mean behind the scene we have this function. From the AI, this will be the name, and if we want to add a description, the description is here, and the type of the file. In this case, this is string, could be number, and different kind of type. Keep as a define as the model, and here let's see what we have. We have a map. Okay, basically we have the map here. Yeah, it's so interesting. Okay, nice. There is a so important point here is the following. The Google Calendar needs the date type in a specific expression. We can take a look at the documentation here and say date and time with loop zone. And we can see in this documentation how we can become a normal string to this format. Let's see this map, because in this point we have the data time from ISO, and we provide as a parameter the started date that the AI agent defined. Okay, let's see if we can. Now I don't know, it's working. We can copy and paste this. Nice. And join it and explain how this works. Basically here click on expression, and now when you have expression, we are going to build our custom JSON. We keep operation in the same way, but here is where we have to change, because there is two parameters. We receive the start date and the time zone in the same time, and with that this function basically transform or start date on the required format for the date required by the Google Calendar nodes. That is so important to understand. Well, now we know that this get even operation, basically we define what is this operation, and in this switch we are going to have different path. We are going to break it down based on the operation type. If the operation is equal to get even, that will be the path. Let's say calendar, Google Calendar, and get even. As a requirement here, you have to already have set up your Google Calendar. If you don't know how to do that, I have a special video below in the description about it. And let's see, let's choose my personal email, and here, okay, let's do something. We need some data to test. We are going to copy and paste this, and we are going to pin this as well. Get data, and let's see, get. We are going to change this because this is get even. The time sum, nice. And click on this workflow. What is missing? What is happened here? Let's see. If I'm not wrong, it's JSON.event ID. If I'm not wrong. And event ID will be here. Let's test it. Okay, something is not wrong, but execution one always provide a data. There is something that is missing, basically. Sorry guys, I did a mistake because The right node that we are going to use is Google Calendar, and there is a node called Get Ability Calendar on Calendar, and here we are going to set up the basically the gap of the time. First, we have to select which will be the Google Calendar, and here we have to change this. Basically, let's take a look how we did before. Nice. And basically JSON started date and JSON ending date. Nothing more fancy. And let's see, this is a checkability and test it. Let's see what's happened. Okay, the response is ability is available. Sorry, the response is available, and we can add here a response with a map, and this map will respond ability as a value and ability basically, and this nice. That is the well, it's ability. Let's take a look how this works here. Yeah, basically this is work, but now we have to test the entire workflow with the integration. For this, we have to create maybe a new workflow, a super simple, just a chatbot, just to validate that NCP is working as expected. Nice chat model. We can add a chat model as a default. Doesn't matter for this example what is the model. I left the default model, and here is NCP client, and here is the I told you there is a special URL that you can copy and paste in, and with that let's ask to the chat what kind of tool do you have. Okay, let's refresh this because this is always happen with n8n. The integration is not expected, and again, what kind of tool do you have? Okay, there is an issue, and the issue is why we have to click on test, and this way our NCP server will listen the URL. Let's test it again. I have access to, okay, I have access that can validate the visit time slot, but here we have to improve a little bit the prompt. We are going to improve the prompt on our chat model basically, just to specify a couple stuff to get better our response. This is the prompt that we are going to use. We assign a simple role, and we assign a tool, and we define a tool, and we have to define a name or NCP server as a calendar NCP, all tool to unit. We specify which date is today, and the time zone in the same time, just only to keep track the date of today, because if not, this will use the date of the n8n instance, and it could be even in the past. And also we say, well, the user time zone is this. And now let's take a look, save this, and let's ask something like about the ability. Is there any, let's see my calendar quickly. Okay, I have a meeting at 8 p.m. Let's take a look. Is there any meeting today at 8 p.m.? Beautiful. We have to again click on listen and retry. Let's see what was there is no meeting. Okay, hold on, but why? How is that? There is or not there is a meeting? I think there is an issue here because I have a different time zone setting here. Let's test again. We have to develop it. Oh, we are going to have the, okay, nice. I checking for a meeting schedule today, and there your local time. Looks pretty nice. Looks accurate in this moment. Basically, we have to do the same with the rest of the node. I'm going to go deeper node by node just to save time. Here on delete event, we have only copy and paste the event ID. That is the only parameter that we need. To the creation is the most important flow because we have to check the ability before, and if it's true, it means if the gap of time is true, you create a if and validate the JSON ability. That is the response provided by this node. We already saw this when we test the validation email, and that after that create a new event. And here we need the started date and the ending date, and even you can add more like a description, color name. You can add more and more variables to create an event. If not, just stop the flow and return a error message. If you want to know more about this NCP server flow, I left the entire code on the link on the comments. Here we have event. What is that? That is so helpful as well, because this get how many and which one are the events in gap of time. For example, if you want to know between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. how many and what are the events that I have in this gap of time, this provides you the response. And here we map the response. Basically, we can say ability time if there is not any event in the middle of the gap of time that we are evaluating, and the event data. In this case, I only returning the ID. There is one point so important that we have to dive deeper is add the description. It's so important add the description for each of the tools, because this is a tools, but it's only execute this workflow with different operation. That's means different path, and each of the tools has different description about what is the functionality of this. For all of them, I hard-coded operation, and the left I use the model will define what will be the value. If you enjoy this video, I can ask you if you can subscribe in this channel and click on the thumbnail tonight to like. This helped me a lot to develop more videos like this. But what is next? I am creating an AI agents army to my business to help me with my typical daily tasks, such as look for information on Reddit, create a newsletter sender, or even an AI voice agent running on my website to provide the best user experience about my program, my mentorship program.